All right, you ready? I dug up 2 of the disturbing Reddit posts on the internet for you. Drop a like and subscribe if you want more. Let's get into it. I, 26 female, discovered the same woman matched with my boyfriend and all his friends within 4 days. Her profile uses my old photos. 4 men, 4 matches, 4 days. I'm a marketing coordinator, 26 female, and I live with my boyfriend Derek in our apartment. We've been together 2 years. 4 days ago, everything changed. Derek's phone buzzed during dinner. A Tinder notification. He went pale, stammered about forgetting to delete the app after we got serious. I believed him. We all have old apps. But then I saw the match. Emma K., 25 female. The profile picture stopped me cold. She looked exactly like me. Same hair, same smile, same angles I used for selfies years ago. Within 3 hours, Derek's 3 closest friends, Mike, Jason, and Tom, texted our group chat. They'd all matched with her too. Same woman, same 4-day window. I needed to see her full profile. Derek tried showing me, but Tinder limits what you see unless you match. So I created a fake male profile with stock photos, swiped until I found Emma K. Her bio was simple: hiking, dogs over cats, graphic design, and one line at the bottom: Sunday mornings are for silence and black coffee. That phrase made my blood stop. It's not a common quote. It's the exact sentence I whispered to Derek 2 weeks ago on a Sunday morning in our apartment. We were alone in bed, windows closed, nobody else there. I've never posted it anywhere, never texted it, never said it out loud except that one time. I screenshotted everything. I don't know who Emma K is or how she got photos that look like me, but she knows what I said in my own bedroom. A private whisper, now public on a stranger's screen. The screenshots piled up like evidence of something impossible. I spent the next 2 hours screenshotting every single detail of Emma K's profile before she could delete anything. The more I studied it, the worse it became. Her listed favorite coffee shop was Blue Jay Cafe on Morrison Street. That's where I go every Thursday morning before work. I always order the same thing: oat milk latte, no sugar. It's not a chain. It's a tiny local place most people have never heard of. Her music interests were perfect matches: Bon Iver, The National, Fleet Foxes, Phoebe Bridgers. These weren't mainstream artists everyone knows. These were the exact bands I had on my Spotify playlists in college, during my junior year when I was going through my indie phase. I haven't listened to most of them in years. Even her bio phrasing sounded like me. One line said, "I think in coffee and deadlines." I've said that exact sentence in team meetings at work, multiple times. It's my go-to joke when someone asks how I'm juggling projects. I showed Derek everything. He went pale. He kept insisting he'd swiped accidentally, that he genuinely thought the app was deleted months ago. When he showed me his match history, Emma K had messaged him first. "Hey stranger, you look familiar." He never responded. We video called Mike, Jason, and Tom. All 3 confirmed they'd matched with her in that same 4-day window. Mike said the profile showed up like Tinder's algorithm was pushing it directly to him. Jason sent me his screenshots. Same photos, same bio, everything identical. Tom's voice got quiet when he said, "She looks exactly like you did in college. It's genuinely creepy." I asked Derek point blank, "Did you tell anyone about the Sunday morning coffee phrase? Your friends? Your family? Anyone at all?" He swore he didn't. He said he barely even remembered me saying it until I reminded him. It wasn't some profound moment for him, just casual pillow talk he'd mostly forgotten about. That made everything infinitely worse. Because if Derek didn't tell anyone, then someone else heard me say it. In my own bedroom, when Derek and I were completely alone. Someone had been listening the whole time. The photos held answers buried in reflections and shadows. I couldn't stop staring at Emma K's photos. I zoomed in on every background detail, every corner of every frame, searching for something that would explain this. Then I found it. The 3rd photo in her profile, a selfie taken in what looked like a living room. In the window reflection behind her, I could see the exact shape of a fire escape railing. That railing was outside my old apartment on Belmont Street, where I lived in 2020 before Derek and I moved in together. I recognized the angle, the rust pattern on the metal bars, everything. Another photo showed her holding a coffee cup next to a houseplant. Not just any plant, a string of pearls succulent in a terracotta pot with a chipped rim on the left side. I had that exact plant in college. Same chip, same pot. I gave it away when I graduated because I couldn't take it with me. Derek suggested we report it. But to who? Tinder support sent an automated response saying they'd investigate within 5 to 7 business days. The police non-emergency line said we needed proof of an actual crime. What was I supposed to say? Someone created a fake dating profile using information about me that shouldn't be public. I texted Mike, Jason, and Tom individually, asking them to send me every screenshot they had of Emma Kay. They all did. Mike's included 2 photos I hadn't seen yet. Jason's had her full bio expanded. Tom sent me the message she'd sent him. "You look like someone who appreciates good coffee." She knew. Whoever Emma Kay was, she knew things about me that only I should know. Things from years ago. Things from 2 weeks ago. Things that should have stayed private. This is beyond catfishing. This is coordinated identity theft and stalking. Document everything. Screenshot the profile before it disappears and file a police report today. This person has been watching you. The fact that she matched with your boyfriend and his friends isn't random. She's sending him a message, showing him she can access his entire social circle. This feels like psychological warfare. Has Derek had any crazy exes? Wait, that phrase about Sunday mornings, that's the biggest red flag. There's no way she could know that unless someone told her or she heard it. You need to check your apartment for recording devices immediately. I showed Derek the profile last night, and when he saw that line, he went completely pale. He asked me if I'd ever posted it anywhere, and I told him no. I said it to him while we were making coffee in our kitchen on a Sunday morning 2 weeks ago. No one else was there. He's been quiet ever since, and won't really look at me. I don't know if I'm more scared of the Emma situation or his reaction to it. What the tracking app showed made her stop breathing. The police searched her apartment, and I wish they hadn't. I spent 6 hours last night comparing Emma Kay's photos to every old photo I could find on my phone and laptop. Then I checked my deleted Instagram archive, the one I deactivated in early 2020 before Derek and I got serious. Every single photo on Emma's profile was mine. Not just similar, mine. Edited versions of posts I deleted years ago. The selfie with the fire escape reflection? My Belmont Street apartment, October 2019. The houseplant photo? My dorm room, spring 2018. She'd cropped them, adjusted the lighting, changed the background slightly, but they were undeniably my photos, from before I even knew Derek existed. Then Derek went silent. He said something I didn't want to hear. His spare apartment key went missing about 6 months ago. He thought he'd just misplaced it. But he'd attached one of those Bluetooth tracking tags to it, the kind that logs location history. We pulled up the app. 17 entries. 17 times that key had been inside our apartment over the past 3 months. Always between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Always when we were both at work. That night, Emma Kay's profile disappeared, completely scrubbed from Tinder like it never existed. I called the police at 11 p.m. They're opening an investigation for stalking and unlawful entry. OP. I'm one of Derek's friends, not saying which. I got a match from this profile 3 days ago and it creeped me out because she looked so much like you, but I couldn't place why. Showed it to my girlfriend and she said the same thing. We need to talk. If she's using your old Instagram photos, she's been researching you for a while. Check the metadata on those photos if you still have them saved anywhere. Might tell you when, where they were accessed or downloaded. Piggybacking on this, also check if your old Instagram was ever hacked or if you got any weird login attempt emails back in 2019-2020. Sometimes people gain access to deleted accounts through archived credentials and pull everything before the account was deactivated. The apartment they'd thought was safe had been anything but. The name on the warrant made Derek's face drain of all color. The police found her in 3 hours. Claire. Derek's ex-girlfriend from college. Derek broke down when they told us the name. He sat on our couch and confessed everything. Claire had been texting him for months, playing the concerned friend. She convinced him I was cheating, that I was acting distant, that he should watch for signs. He fed her everything. Our morning routines, our inside jokes, what I whispered to him on Sunday mornings over coffee. She used it all to build Emma Kay, a perfect replica of me, designed to destroy us from the inside out. She matched with Derek and his friends to make him think I was the one catfishing him, to seed paranoia and suspicion in his head, to make him question everything about me. It almost worked. They arrested her for stalking, burglary, and unauthorized surveillance. Her apartment had my deleted Instagram photos printed and organized in binders by date. Her laptop was completely wiped except for one folder labeled Sunday Mornings. Inside were 47 photos. Me and Derek asleep in our bed, taken over 3 months from inside our bedroom. Different angles, different nights. Close-ups of our faces while we slept. She had been standing there in the dark, watching us breathe. I moved out 2 days ago. Derek keeps calling, leaving voicemails saying he didn't know, that he thought he was protecting our relationship by confiding in an old friend. But he gave her everything she needed to dismantle what we had. The trust is gone. I can't look at him without seeing her shadow in our doorway. I had something similar happen with an ex's new girlfriend who became obsessed with me. Started with social media stalking, escalated to showing up at my gym. Please take this seriously and get ahead of it now before it gets worse. On to the next one. I found a Discord server containing 4 years of my therapy transcripts, including thoughts I never said out loud, posted 3 days ago by Throwaway, disclosed, a 28 female. The email had no sender. I'm a freelance graphic designer living alone in a 1-bedroom apartment. 3 nights ago, I got an email with a Discord invite link. No subject line, no message, just the link. The sender field was blank, not unknown or scrambled, just empty. I clicked it. Discord opened to a server called Sessions with dozens of channels, each labeled with a date, April 2022, September 2023. I scrolled and my stomach dropped. Every date matched a therapy appointment I'd had with Dr. Sarah Chen over the past 4 years. I opened October 14th, 2023, the session where I talked about my father leaving when I was 7. Complete transcript. Every word I said, every word Dr. Chen said back. Verbatim, down to my pauses and her reassurances. Then I saw a line I didn't recognize. She's nodding, but I hate that clock behind her desk. The ticking is driving me insane. I want to rip it off the wall. I never said that out loud. I thought it. I remember thinking it, watching that awful brass clock tick while talking about my childhood, but I never told Dr. Chen. I smiled and kept talking. I scrolled down. More thoughts I'd kept inside. My judgments about her leading questions. An intrusive thought about walking into traffic that flashed through my mind. Things I never spoke. Someone recorded what I was thinking. Every silence she'd kept to herself was written down, word for word. And somewhere, 47 strangers were reading along. She couldn't stop reading. I stayed up until 4 a.m. going through the channels. February 2021, the session where Dr. Chen asked if I'd considered medication for my anxiety. I remember forcing a smile, saying I'd think about it. The transcript showed what I'd actually thought. She's giving up on me. This is her way of saying I'm too broken for talk therapy. I never said that out loud. I just nodded and thanked her for caring. June 2022. We discussed my weekend plans in detail. I told her about a hiking trip with old college friends. The transcript included a line in italics, formatted like a stage direction. What if I just stepped off the edge? Would anyone actually care? It had flashed through my mind for maybe 2 seconds while I was describing the trail route and sunrise timing. Dr. Chen had smiled warmly and said fresh air would be really good for me. She had absolutely no idea. March 2023. I apparently counted the ceiling tiles 17 times during a single session about my mother. The transcript documented it precisely. Tile count, 17 repetitions. Avoidance behavior intensifying during maternal trauma discussion. I'd done it automatically, desperately trying not to cry while talking about when she left. Dr. Chen never once mentioned noticing. Every channel showed the same pattern. my spoken words alongside every silent observation. How Dr. Chen's left eye twitched slightly when I mentioned my ex-boyfriend. The exact moment her expression shifted from professional concern to something that looked closer to pity. Internal thoughts I'd deliberately buried the instant they surfaced because saying them out loud felt too vulnerable, too raw. There were no cameras in her office. I would have seen them. No recording equipment, no suspicious wires, no unusual devices anywhere. Her office is in a standard medical building with beige walls and generic landscape prints. I've sat in that same room 68 times over 4 years. Someone documented what I was thinking, not what I said. The transcripts went back 4 years, documenting every unspoken terror, and they were perfect. Every single thought she'd kept silent. She had to tell someone. I called Mika at 5 a.m. She answered groggy, and I started talking. Discord server, therapy transcripts, thoughts I never said out loud. I sounded frantic, paranoid. Mika suggested hidden recording equipment, cameras, bugs in Dr. Chen's office. I tried explaining it wasn't audio. These were thoughts. The number of times I counted ceiling tiles. Mental math about time remaining. Judgments I kept silent. Maybe you said them and forgot, Mika offered. I didn't forget. I remember the silence. We talked for an hour. Mika suggested confronting Dr. Chen, but my chest tightened. What if I sound crazy? What if she thinks I'm breaking down and I lose my therapist? What if she reports me as dangerous because I'm claiming someone's reading my thoughts? After we hung up, I stared at the Discord server. I'd avoided the member list. I finally clicked it. 47 members. I scrolled through usernames. Then I saw ApexJ 2019, a variation of my ex-boyfriend's gaming handle. 3 names down, Redline Manager, almost identical to my former boss's nickname. I couldn't confirm they were actually them, but the patterns were there. People I'd discussed in therapy. People who'd want access to what I'd said. People who now had everything I'd thought about them too. Every person she'd ever mentioned was somewhere in that list. This is a HIPAA nightmare. Report this to your state medical board immediately and consult a lawyer. If your therapist was recording without consent, that's both illegal and grounds for losing her license. The session pending channel for next week is what gets me. That implies whoever created this expects you to keep seeing Dr. Chen. They're planning on more content. The fact that it includes thoughts you didn't say out loud is the part that terrifies me. That's not possible with any recording technology. Either your memory of what you said is different than reality, or something very wrong is happening here. I know what I didn't say. In one transcript from February 2024, there's a line that says, "She noticed the clock said 3:47 and calculated she had 13 minutes left." I remember that exact moment. I was watching the clock, doing that math in my head while Dr. Chen was talking. I never said it out loud. I'm sure of it. She decided to confront her therapist. I confronted my therapist about the server, and now I wish I hadn't. I spent 2 days obsessively going through the member list, ApexJ 2019. I cross-referenced with my ex-boyfriend's old Steam profile, same exact variation he'd used for years. Redline Manager, my former boss's nickname at the design agency, identical structure down to the underscore. But the one that made me physically sick was Mom 2461, June 1961, my mother's birth month and year. The woman who abandoned me when I was 11. The woman I've spent 4 years processing abandonment trauma about in these exact sessions. Every single person I'd discussed in detail was somewhere in that server. 47 members, 47 people with access to my thoughts. I scrolled to the bottom of the channel list. The last channel wasn't labeled with a past date. It showed June 17th, 2026. Next Tuesday, my next scheduled appointment with Dr. Chen. I clicked it with shaking hands. Just 2 words in white text against the black background. Session pending. I took screenshots of everything. The member list, the transcripts, the pending session. I drove to Dr. Chen's office 40 minutes early, phone gripped in my hand the entire drive, rehearsing what I'd say. During our session, I tried to show her the proof. I pulled up my email app to display the Discord invite. I scrolled through my inbox. It wasn't there. I checked trash, Checked archives, checked spam, checked every single folder. Nothing. I typed Discord into the search bar. 0 results. The email had completely vanished from existence. The proof was gone. Check if you ever did telehealth sessions during the pandemic. Some platforms had data breaches. Could explain how transcripts leaked, though not the unspoken thoughts part. Those 47 members, did you recognize all the usernames? What if some of them are people you've never met? That's even worse. If strangers have access to this, OP could be vulnerable to stalking, identity theft, blackmail. Her entire psychological profile is in there. Every weakness, every fear, every past trauma. Dr. Chen tried to help, but the proof had already vanished. Dr. Chen looked genuinely concerned when I couldn't show her the email. She pulled up her clinical notes on her tablet, encrypted, HIPAA-compliant, brief bullet points only. Client discussed childhood abandonment, explored coping mechanisms, noted progress with trust issues. Nothing resembling transcripts, nothing capturing my exact words or thoughts. She swept her office with me watching, checked behind picture frames, under furniture, inside the lamp bases. No cameras, no microphones, no hidden devices. She explained the legal impossibility. Recording without consent would cost her license, risk criminal charges. I tried showing her the Discord server. Screenshots appeared completely blank on screen, just gray rectangles. Copy-pasting the invite link produced random gibberish. Texting it to her phone failed 3 times. Dr. Chen's expression shifted from concerned to something else, something that looked like worry about my mental state. That made everything worse. After our session, I sat in my car in the parking lot and opened Discord on my phone. A new channel had appeared at the top. Today's date, June 10th, 2026. I opened it. Perfect transcript of everything we'd said. And underneath, in italics, she's panicking. I sound insane. She thinks I'm having a psychotic break. My exact internal monologue during the confrontation. Below that, Dr. Chen's unspoken assessment, possible delusional episode, paranoid features, requires monitoring. She never said that out loud. I saw it in her eyes. The server still exists. I still have access, and I can't prove it to anyone. No one would believe her, and she knew it. I'm shaking reading this. The therapeutic relationship is supposed to be the one safe space. The betrayal of this is unthinkable. Some violations of consciousness leave no witnesses and no evidence behind, just the absolute certainty that you've been seen. And that's the last story for today.